Oh, awesome. Nobody move. I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to update the link on Facebook really quick. Sorry for the delay. Oh, yeah, this will be boring for a minute or two. Sorry. Okay, it looks like possibly I'm the only one watching still, so I don't feel too bad when I'm not talking. If you do happen to jump in, you should be able to sign into YouTube and chat on the sidebar like this. Sorry, the laptop is bouncing because I've got it sitting on a box. I'll get to it in a second. I promise. I'm almost done. Sorry. I feel like every YouTube live stream goes exactly like this, where there's like 2 minutes of nothing because as soon as it goes live, everybody freaks out because nothing works right the first time. Okay. If you're on the old event, oh, maybe it did update. I don't know. Bu- bu- bu. Okay. Sure. I can see the chat there. All right. I think that's about as good as we're going to get. Check, check. Check 1, 2. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm not sure where. Check, check, check. I'm not sure where the microphone is coming from. I'm getting very little volume, so let's see if I can. Wonder if that'll affect it at all. Check, check, check 1. Oh, just me. Just me all on my own because I don't know how to set up a live stream properly. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Sorry, you probably got some feedback there. All right. Talking to myself. Oh, okay. We've got one person. All right. Yeah. Okay. So now that we have people here, let's get this party started. If you have just popped in, as I said earlier, you're balancing on a box on my desk right now. So I apologize for the poor quality. I'm streaming from my laptop. I was trying to get it to stream from my phone. It seemed to want me to be able to do it, and then the internet informs me that I don't have enough subscribers to do a pre-live. Like, I had set this all up and it should have just gone and it should have just been fine. But then, of course, like 18 minutes before, I realized I can't do it from my phone because I don't have enough subscribers or something. So, all right, let's see if we can get this party started. Oh, that's going to be feeding back, isn't it? Like, terribly. Okay, well, let's just try it anyway. Hey, welcome here. Oh boy, that's such a gong show. So, yeah, it's been a while. Hey, um, I think I last posted a couple of months ago, and I said I was going to post maybe more recently. Obviously, I haven't done that. As you can see behind me, there's a lot of boxes and a lot of empty shelves. Let's see if we can swing it this way. You can kind of see, I'm going to try to point with my finger right there. Oh, right there. There's like the corner of a box. So I am, of course, in my office, and but we've got boxes everywhere because we're moving. We're moving this weekend. So I remember in my last video, I definitely said that we were moving. We were looking for a house, looking for a car, looking for jobs. We found a car, and now the car has some issues, so that's fun. We found a house, and now we're moving, so that's also fun. And I've been a little bit busy with some video stuff. Not as busy as I want to be, but that it happens. So, yeah, lots of boxes because we are moving. I scored a whole bunch of really great stuff at Mark's Work Warehouse because they have, was it Carhartt? Carhartt, I think, clothes. And they were telling me if you have like 5 pairs of jeans, then the box needs to be reinforced, basically. So really great boxes there. Feel free to comment in the sidebar if you're not signed into YouTube. I don't know if you can actually see this video. You might be able to see it but not comment. So make sure to sign in as you're watching this stream, and then you should be able to comment. Just like Greg has. He commented a while ago. So I'll get around to his question now. What's your next video on? Oh, great. I'm thinking. I don't know, man. So usually what happens is, feel free to comment if you can't hear or if something's glitchy, and I'll try to fix that on the fly too. Anyways, I usually I don't have a plan until I get to the day of an actual video. Sometimes the day before. Sometimes I create a plan ahead of time, and then I jot out the notes, and it's like the day before. But usually it's just the day of. So sorry to disappoint. I don't have. Do you have a suggestion for me? It's all very exciting. Stuff, right? Like, often it'll be just something that I come across that day, and I go, I need to make a video on this just because why not? So let's see. What should I don't know if I want to commit to anything in particular. Maybe I could make a video on good moving practices if that's a thing that I'd be like. Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. So yeah, I'm just obviously figuring out how to work this. But maybe like I could tell you a little bit about the processes that we're going through to pack now and what good packing processes are. Oh, here's a question. What are some things about the moving process that would benefit people to know more about? All right. Okay. Thanks for that, Greg. Hey, if you want to get everybody else in your office to watch and boost my viewer count too. um, okay. Well, since you're on a laptop, I might be able to take you around. That's why I wanted to. So a while ago, I got this really fancy this brand, this Gorilla Pod Joby brand. You can get all kinds. There's like I don't know, like 15 different versions of it, and I wanted to mount it to my phone. It's like the common one that you see around that YouTubers have, and you can just kind of like set it wherever. And I was gonna just tape my phone to it, and then you can like bend it and I could be like, hey, how's it going? But I couldn't get around to that. So I'm going to have to lug the laptop around a little bit, but I can definitely show you things that I came up with that I feel like would be a good thing to know about moving. So let's do that. So before we move, obviously get as many boxes as possible. So we've been getting boxes every few days. We just started getting boxes within the last week or so because we have a smaller place. It's like 740 square feet. So we don't have a lot of space for our stuff, let alone a ton of boxes. So I would recommend that unless you have like a storage, like a garage or a shed or something, don't go getting boxes like a month ahead of time unless you come across somebody that's like, I want to give you these boxes and it's a great I don't know. I don't know. You can decide for yourself, but I wouldn't say go get boxes ahead of time. And yeah, so we got boxes like within the last couple of weeks. I've also been packing in installments, increments. A friend of ours moved last week, and the way that he moved was he took a few things over every few days. For like, I don't know, across a couple of weeks. And that's kind of an odd way to do it. It's not necessarily wrong. I mean, by all means, go ahead. But excuse me. Um, I just prefer to move all at once. So we looked online, found a U-Haul, found out that the largest two U-Hauls are the exact same size. Exact same price. And so we just got the biggest one. It's going to be overkill, but we'll throw everything into it and we'll make one trip. And that's the way to do it. Just do it all in one trip. But box everything else up first. Greg also asks, what should you pack first? What I decided to pack first was we obviously cleaned out this office room quite a bit first. We packed up all our books and we packed up all our movies. And of course, as soon as I packed up my movies, like 4 people asked, "Hey, if you don't know, we have a very large movie collection." So as soon as I packed them all up, like the next day, people were like, "Hey, can I borrow this movie?" No, you're gonna have to wait a week. We packed them all away. So we packed up books, movies. All of our board games are usually on this shelf here in the bottom. We've still got our instruments in here because they've got their own cases, so that's fine. We packed up a bunch of the art that we had posted around, basically the things that we definitely didn't need to use. We left the TV and the Blu-ray player. We left the couch, obviously, and then basically everything else in the living room that I'll go show you. Maybe I'll just kind of start walking there right now. We packed that all up. Oh, that's a little bit better lighting. We packed all that up all at once. Photos, which the photos I moved and I put all up there. So as you can see, very empty. We still have some artwork on the walls. And then there's our massive, that's our like in progress / already finished pile. It's more than it looks like. Let's see if I can get a better angle. So we've got like 3 or 4 boxes deep, and depending on the box, there's all kinds of like I'm kind of in the process of packing a glassware one right there. We've got hangers and stuff back there. These are all the movies and books and stuff like that. So we haven't packed any of the kitchen yet because we're still using the kitchen. But I will pack up like mugs, and let's just put you down because that's kind of shaky. I'll pack up mugs and stuff today. We bought some paper plates and paper cups because there's going to be some people helping us move, and so we want to be able to feed them, but we don't want to take all of our stuff. So other than those, probably tomorrow, which is Friday, if you're watching this on a Thursday, probably Friday, we will pack everything else up in the evening. because we go to get the U-Haul first thing Saturday morning. And then we're going to tear everything out of here starting Saturday. And it should be pretty quick because we're going to have everything disassembled and put into boxes. So to get back around to your question, Greg, I would just say tear down the stuff that you use the least. So, like for us, we do watch movies a lot, but a lot of it is a collection. So we took down all of our little like character figures. If you've seen our little Funko Pop vinyl figures, we took down all of those and boxed them all up. Took down all like any Lego, movies, games, books, school stuff. I kept my video stuff out, my video cameras and things like that for my video business. Kept all that out. And yeah. Now, as far as boxing things up go, I created what I thought was a pretty good system. So give me like 10 seconds and I'll grab you those sheets. Okay, I don't know if that was 10 seconds, but so I made labels. I just went and bought like a stack of these white Avery brand labels. There's like 3 on a page and they come off pretty easily. And I just mocked up some labels for them. So as you can see here, have a row for kitchen and a row for storage. I also printed off some more for office and living room. So basically, and then there's ones for bathroom on another sheet. But basically, it's whenever I finish with a box, and depending on where it's going to go to, not where it comes from. That way, when the people are offloading it from the truck that are helping us, just look at the top. They know that they're always going to find a sticker right on the top, and it's color coordinated because my original idea was just to put a piece of paper with a specific color hanging from above each doorway in the new place. But then I realized there's only one of each room in the new place because we're moving into another like suite, not a whole house. So it's kind of overkill. But either way, they're all different colors. And you basically just look at the top of the box and go, oh, this goes to the living room. And you take it and you drop it in the living room. And then you don't need to ask. And I've helped other people move. And when there's a ton of people, it gets a little bit confusing sometimes. Wow. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead in the questions here. And yeah, so it's all a preference, right? I like to be very organized. Obviously, what I try to do is stack all of our boxes. All of our books, my wife actually packed up first. She put them mostly all into the same kind of box. And that's excellent because she found one that fit. And then she went and found the other size or the other boxes of that size because they're all uniform and they can carry, usually all the paperbacks are at least the same size, maybe not the hardcover books, but yeah. So what we're going to probably do today is do a lot of like the stuff like I've got some like Christmas stuff just like sticking up there into the corner. We've got like a whole bunch of jackets and crap down here. Got a huge, like unnecessarily huge mug collection. We don't even specifically collect mugs. People just keep giving us mugs, so we end up with them. I feel like that's everybody. How about post in the comments if you don't have an unnecessarily large mug collection? That's not your own fault. Yeah, so I pack what I want to pack first, and then the last thing that we'll pack up, I did make a schedule mentally that Friday night we would pack up the electronics, like the computer and the TV, because we won't need them then. But we probably would use them up until Friday night. And then Saturday morning is when I'll clean out some of the bathroom stuff too, because you always need a few things in the bathroom just to like wake up and wash your face and brush your teeth and whatever for the day. So I didn't want to pack all of that stuff up like Thursday and then have to go rooting through boxes for it, because we've also taped all these boxes shut. We also have this like caution tape that you can see there. I've put on some of the boxes. I just go by the assumption that anything from the kitchen is going to have glassware in it, so it's all fragile. But then there's only like a handful of other boxes that we've actually put caution tape on, and those are like fragile, specifically fragile, not because of like Lego, but because of Like we have some memorable things in there. Like I think I'll have a teacup that my grandmother, who passed away years ago, or that I got from her, like a teacup set or something like that. So that's fragile and memorable. And I might not be able to stick it into one of these boxes with the other kitchen glassware. So that's just stuff like that. Let's see. What was something you didn't realize you owned before you started this moving process? Um, I I think I've seen pretty much everything. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in our clothes closet downstairs in our bedroom that's Holly's clothes that I don't know about because she doesn't wear it during like the summer or the winter, or she's it's like old, so she's had it packed away but hasn't unpacked it since we moved in, because we had a lot of stuff when we moved in here together, right after we got married. And so um I don't know if there's anything that's surprised me. There's stuff that surprised me that that like I didn't remember that I had. So like for instance, like apparently I had a coin collection, and it's not even like a good coin collection. It was like a little margarine container with like $2 worth of, maybe not $2, but like 50 cents worth of American pennies. I don't know. Um like I don't even know why I would have that. And let's see. Sometimes I go into the closet on a regular basis and find stuff that I didn't remember that I had. Like when we were going to one of the Star Wars movies a couple years ago, I knew that I had those like plastic flick out lightsabers, but I didn't know that I had 5 of them or 4 of them, however many I have. It just surprised me how many I had. So, um, what type of food would you recommend for incentivizing your friends to help you move? So this is another thing, and this is again because I'm super organized, and you might not choose to do it that way and or this way, and that's totally fine. I created a Facebook event, and I made it private so that I could just invite the people that I thought might be around or could help to that. And on that event, I like put all the details so that I didn't have to be texting everybody like every 2 minutes. I could just ask all people all at once, and then that would be golden. And if people had questions, they could ask. But otherwise, you get all of your information out there at once. And part of that information was, I mean, the default I think is pizza, right? that's just what you do. But I did put in there if people had other um, preferences, like if they could all agree on something, then we could get something different. But it would have to be something. I mean, it doesn't have to be something cheap. I know people that do like homemade food. I know the people that that have taken everybody out afterwards. I did that before when we first moved in. I had a couple of guys help me move, and so I just had them. I just took them out for lunch because there was only a couple of them. But that could get expensive, right? So you want to do something cheap. You could do like basically any fast food if they agree on it. You could do, I don't know, if you're really ambitious, you could have somebody make some food for you, like sandwiches and stuff like that. I'm not that ambitious, and I'm busy packing, and Holly's busy at work, so we don't have time to do that. But we'd probably just buy pizza or like Asian food or something anyway. Something that's like really quick that you can either order ahead of time and get delivered or just go pick up really quickly. So I think that's probably the easiest. But also make sure that there's like not just pop there because it's the middle of summer. We're gonna definitely have some like colder stuff like iced tea and things like that, and not like sugary iced tea because that would defeat the purpose of it being pop. But like cold steeped tea, if anybody's grandparents or parents make that, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, more questions. What are some ways to deal with stress while moving or house hunting? Ways to deal with the stress. My wife, like Holly, was fairly stressed about it because we were looking for a while casually, and then suddenly we were told, "Oh, you're going to have to move." And so then we started looking very specifically, and we hadn't anticipated having to look for a house this early. We thought we'd maybe have a couple more years. She could finish school and then we could move away. So that in itself was kind of stressful. Let's change locations so you're not so bored looking at me. Maybe I'll go back over here. Oh, right. Let's get the light right in your eyes. Let's balance you on this ledge. That's safe, right? Sorry, forgot where I was talking about. So when we were looking for places, it was stressful to be looking for places within a budget. Um, I guess one of the ways to eliminate the stress is to not risk looking outside that budget, because sometimes you can look like $50 or $100 or $200 a month outside of what your like budget is for the month, and then you freak out because there's triple the amount of places that are always just outside your budget. So don't look outside your budget. That's a good rule. That'll just stress you out even more. The other thing that I said was, like, we thought we knew exactly when we had to be out, and it's good to have a deadline. So I had a deadline in mind. Turns out we were able to stay just a little bit longer, and that helped us out. But if you have a deadline like the first of the month or the 15th of the month, make sure that you don't anticipate having longer times to look. So don't be like, oh, it's okay, I'll find something last minute, because it doesn't usually work that way. We actually went and saw a couple of places 2 or 3 times. We actually did that to like 2 or 3 different places. And then we ended up not getting those places anyways, just because it didn't fit the amount of storage that we thought we would need and the amount of living space. I don't know if you can see it very well here, but like, here's the living room. So we have like the TV, and we've got like chairs. These are obviously pulled much further forward than usual, but all of these boxes back there, that was just where our like kitchen table was. It was a really tiny living space. So we always had to juggle things when we had people over, and that was annoying. So we wanted to find more living space, and yeah, there's just more things that we required, and also within our budget. So don't look outside your budget and freak yourself out. Also, make sure you give yourself a solid date. And what I would do was, not to say that I never got stressed out, but when Holly got stressed out, I would just say, hey, it's okay. We have like 2 weeks. And I don't know if that's dealing with it or if that's just like pushing it aside and just saying, we'll deal with it later. Yeah, I don't have that much wisdom when it comes to moving. I lived at home until a year out of, not a year. Was it a year? A year, no, a couple of years out of high school, I lived at home still working. Then I moved in with a friend, and I was just there for 6 months. And I basically just had my computer and my clothes and like a couple of Rubbermaids. I didn't have tons of stuff at that point. And then I moved to Bible school for a year, and then I came back and moved back in with that friend. So I still left some of my things there, and it was kind of established. And then when I even moved here, I moved all of my stuff in like 1 or 2 carloads, and then we moved all of Holly's stuff in 1 or 2 carloads. We actually had 3 vehicles all come down. That's what it was. I remember us taking a photo of those vehicles. And so, so this is the first time we've had to move everything all together. So I think probably it's more daunting to have to move your stuff than it is to like look for a house. That's of course frustrating or stressful. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Thanks for all of your questions, Greg. You've really been keeping this live stream going. I'm just going to double check Facebook just to see if just going to make sure Facebook isn't asking me tons of questions and I'm just like not listening to them. That would be a nice surprise, wouldn't it? Oh, another one here. We're just going to talk about, this should just be a live stream about moving. What are some common problems you have seen while moving or helping someone else move? We've helped we've probably done 5 or 6 moves in the last couple of years amongst people that we know. I don't know if I've seen this be an issue, but it could be an issue that you have too many people, because our place only has like the stairwell is right over there. So other than that, there's only one entrance and exit. So that's kind of a pain in the ass. But sorry. Yeah. Anyways, so there's only one. If there's only one staircase, then that's an issue. Our new place has a back staircase as well, so we'll be using a couple of people. But yeah, I think too many people is probably, yeah, that's probably the only big issue. A couple of days. You're suddenly taking a couple of days. Like there's no way they can get all of your stuff. Whereas if you got it all boxed up, U-Haul, if you rent from them, they even say on their website, oh, based on how much space you're moving, we can have like 3 guys in there and we can pack everything up within 3 hours or whatever. So they just estimate it for you. So it does go a lot faster if you have everything packed up. So yeah. Well, it's almost 1, so I imagine anybody that was watching is probably about to get back to work. So maybe that's a good enough way to cut it out. Thanks to those of you that watched live. Thanks those of you that are going to watch this later. I can't think of anything else. Next time you see us, we'll definitely be in the new place. So maybe I'll have a space in there that I can actually set up and get some like little get an area set up specifically with like lights and stuff like that so that you can see. Yeah. Otherwise, thanks for joining. I'll play you the outro if if it's gonna work. Let me shut the light off in here. Maybe it'll work better that way. And come on, outro. Where'd you go? Outro. Sorry, it's on my computer because So then Thanos. Oh, I'm just playing an old video of mine. Yeah, never mind. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, and then of course it starts to lag. So there we go. So we will see you the next time I do an actual video. Thanks for joining and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.